which leads us over to your math. And this is where you see a lot of connections between, a lot of overt and obvious connections between areas. I showed you the red rods. These are the number rods. They're exactly the same, except instead of all being just reds, these are red and blue. So this is an opportunity after you've really internalized the difference between this length and this length to then see this is what 1 feels like. And this is what 4 feels like. And that feels, my arm has to go longer. And you start, again, it's a physical, a visual, a whole child experience of learning. I call it the ness, the 1 ness and the 4 ness. So we work a lot of that with that. You will notice that your child will come home and maybe talk about numbers, but not necessarily in chronological order, which is fine because we can learn to memorize that 2 is in between 1 and 3, but unless we know that this is what 2 feels like, it's really inconsequential to the whole growth of math. At some point, it's definitely important to know the order of things, and that will come, but we really concentrate on the quantity first. Once the quantity, and this is the same in language, once the quantity is really solidified, so then we start introducing the numerals. We'll say, okay, so there's 3. Let's go see what 3 looks like when we write it down. This is 3, and we work with the sandpaper numerals as well. And the child gets to practice writing it and play all sorts of games to help them solidify what those look like. We call it the knock-knock game. There's all sorts of things. Sometimes we move them around the classroom. There's a lot of things. So that's how math starts. It continues with some more opportunities for really honing in on what those nesses, that 1 ness, the 3 ness is. This is the spindle box. And a little Montessori background because I think it's cool. It's called the spindle box because when she first created this, she used spindles that, thread spindles, that's what these are supposed to look like. Count these into their hands and put them into the box that is labeled 1. And we still use these objects that look like spindles. And we still call it the spindle box, even though this was created over 100 years ago. And it's stuck around, which I think is really cool to know the backstory on that. So we go from learning about numbers 1 through 10 to then learning about the decimal system and really talking about placeholders. And so again, this is all tactile, this is all hands-on. We talk about units, tens, hundreds, and thousands. And again, we start with just the quantities and just really solidify that there are 10 of these little beads in here. There are 10 of these sticks, bars, that's what they're called, 10 bars. There are 10 of these bars in here to make 100. If I had 10 of these hundreds and counted them up, I'd have 1,000. If I took this apart and took out every single bead that's in this cube, I'd have 1,000. And they can really feel the weight of this 1,000 versus this 10, which I can barely feel in my hand. So again, just like with everything, we talk about the quantity before we talk about the symbols. But then we do work with the same materials and add the symbols to them. And we do a lot of matching games. And then we start with what we call the bank game. So these are just the same, they're just made out of wood, a little bit more cost effective. So we start playing games like, all right, Susie, bring me 1,000 931. So that will look like 1,931. Susie puts it on a tray, comes over to the bank. She's got these as a reference, and she gets to come and find that 1,000, the 900, the 3 tens, and the 1 unit. And she brings it back. What did you find? And then she tells me, I found 1,931. And from there, it's not that difficult to move on to addition, which is putting things together, and multiplication, which is putting things together, and then subtraction, which is taking things apart, and division, that's taking things apart. So we really get to start that pretty early in the classroom because everything is so hands-on. So as this is happening, we then also we move over here to the more complex and start talking about tens and teens and how that all works. So we have the Sagan board where we start building tens, or teens, we start with teens, and then the tens to see 1 10 and 2 units makes 12, and 2 tens and 2 units makes 22. And then it just becomes more abstract and more internalized, and the beauty of this classroom is even when you're an older kindergarten and you're working with something you've worked on forever, we all have off days, and maybe you just want that comfort of being able to just really see it. You can always come back to the golden beads and work with your complicated, big complicated, what are they called? Equations. And do it on a rug with all of the golden beads just so that you can see it again. And then the very coveted, loved bead cabinet. So this is where we start talking about cubing. We have all the cubes, and squaring, and skip counting. So the children will start with skip counting with the short beads, and then move on to skip counting with the long beads. And then it moves on, and they start to learn that, it's hard to get out. Here we have, this is for the 2. Oh goodness. If we put them together, then we've got a square. If we put the two squared together, then we have a cube. And it's all, again, very hands-on. And there you have it.